I don't know that this sign is a discussion that we need to be having right now, though. I mean, when we talk about making America great, we have deport all illegals. Should that really be one of our fundamental values?
Yes.
Why is that? Why do you think so?
You need borders. Every country in the world has borders, and every country in the world that's not a failed state enforces their borders. It's important that you do this. The government's core, reason it exists is to protect the people inside of the country and to create and produce the best outcomes for those people. Cam.
So what I want to talk to you about today is...
If you want to hold the mic, you can. You just have to hold it kind of close to your face.
Is this better?
It's sensitive. Yeah. So you'll want to just talk into the top of it so the speaker picks it up. You'll be able to hear when your voice is coming through it and when it's not.
Okay, great. Yeah, what I want to talk to you today is...
You can pick it right out of there and hold it if you want. Yeah, just hold it real close to your face like this, like how I'm doing it.
Yeah. I'm assuming that you're Trump supporters, right?
You got to hold it closer.
Like this?
Like up.
Like this?
Can I see that?
Yeah.
I think you might have turned it off, actually. Test. There you go. Yeah, I think it's
Hello?
off. Say, do again.
Hello?
Yep, you're good. Okay.
Okay, great. I'm assuming that you're Trump supporters, right?
Yep.
So
I am.
Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again."
Yeah.
We're on the same page there. I was born in America. It's my home. I love this country more than anything else in the world. But I'm looking at this sign. Men can't be women, kids can't be trans, and deport all illegals.
Yep.
I think that we're really on the same page about what we want for this country. We want a good economy. We want a strong society. We want tight community bounds and strongly set roles as Americans. We want to participate in the American dream. I don't know that this sign is a discussion that we need to be having right now, though. I mean, when we talk about making America great, we have deport all illegals. Should that really be one of our fundamental values?
Yes.
Why is that? Why do you think so?
You need borders. Every country in the world has borders, and every country in the world that's not a failed state enforces their borders. It's important that you do this. The government's core, reason it exists is to protect the people inside of the country and to create and produce the best outcomes for those people. If you fail to enforce border laws, you fail to protect your people. When I go to bed at night, I shut my door, I lock it, and I put a loaded gun on my nightstand. Okay, if somebody comes into my house without my permission, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to try to remove them, and if I can't, I'm going to blow a 5-inch hole in their chest.
Sure.
Okay? I think my country should do the same thing. If unwanted visitors come into this country without permission of my government, of my country, without the consent of my country, those people should be removed. Right? And if they refuse to be removed, force should be used to remove them. Okay, those people can be dangerous. They can be bringing things here we don't want here. They're a net fiscal drain on the U.S. economy, according to the House Committee on Budget in their study in conjunction with the Center for Immigration Studies. They are a net fiscal drain of $68,000 per person. The equation is just simply taxes paid minus social welfare used. They are a burden on this economy. Furthermore, if you don't enforce border laws, you risk that countries will send sleeper cells here, which is a risk we can't bear to incur. Okay, there are a lot of people who don't like America in the world, and we can't allow those people to have an advantage against us. So if you have those laws, if you have these border laws that are meant to protect the people in this country, you have to enforce them, because your laws are only as valid as their enforcement mechanism. If you don't enforce the law, they don't exist. And so you have to enforce it evenly. If you say, oh, well, this person's probably fine, oh, well, that person's really probably fine, you're not actually enforcing the laws, and people will think they can just do it anyway. And the more they continue to do it, the more the law seems to not be important, and the more people will exploit it. So the law has to be enforced, and it just so happens that the enforcement mechanism for violation of 8 U.S. Code 1325 improper entry by alien is deportation.
Yeah, see, I hear you and I understand. From my perspective, where I'm coming from, are you a Christian? Can I ask that?
I'm a new Christian, yeah. So I'm not a theologian. I'm not going to be able to answer probably any religious questions you have.
That's perfectly fair. But what I think of is Jesus' statement: treat the foreigner in your country like a citizen. I think it would be bad to deport a citizen. And
that's not a statement. To clarify, I am a lifelong Christian. That's not actually a statement. Like, treat the foreigner as a citizen. The word used in the verse you're referencing is in reference to, the word in Hebrew, which I've checked this myself. I've looked at Hebrew dictionaries. It specifically means somebody who was invited. And also, I mean, it certainly is the case that we should treat illegal immigrants with dignity, right? We don't think you should hunt them down, treat them like animals or anything like that. They still do have human rights. They just don't have American rights. the right's exclusive to Americans in the same way that any immigrant can't vote or whatever. So I'm like half and half, kind of on the same. I kind of get what you're saying. I agree with it to an extent, but also like it's definitely not saying that you just let illegal immigrants roam free and you have an open border.
Sorry, the wind is making my eyes water. But really what I'm driving at here is just, I think that it's kind of important for us to get our priorities straight, right? And when we look at what our priorities are, what they should be, what does it really mean to make a place great? What the sign is talking about is 1% of the population who describes themselves as trans. And we've got a few possibilities here.
This is just one thing we're talking about today. We're talking about lots of things.
But just, to cover the basis of the sign, let's take a look at like what the options are of what it means to be trans. Either a man can become a woman and a woman can become a man, right? That's what you're arguing against. Or they can't. And what it means for a person to get top surgery, bottom surgery, whatever, is they make an aesthetic change in their bodies. Or they can't, and there's some sort of new age religion or cult or something which is converting children into this ideology of gender altering whatever. But whatever of those three options it is, we have all kinds of religions all over the place. And I'm not saying that this is a religion, but what I am saying is we've got serious problems going on in the United States that demand practical action, I think. Like right now, the government shut down, our service members aren't getting paid. I think
because Democrats refused to vote on the budget bill that was almost identical to the previous year.
Sure,
they did vote
maybe
to
not.
approve, so.
There are all kinds of reasons that could be the truth. But I still think that there are more pressing concerns right now than the 1% of the population who's doing something we disagree with and the people who don't belong in America, the people who don't deserve to be here.
Okay, so do you want to debate the topic, or do you want to debate that the topic doesn't matter? Because I don't care how much you say the topic doesn't matter. It matters to me. So there's nothing to argue there.
Okay, so I think you're kind of misinterpreting the point. The point isn't to come out here and just change people's mind on like gender. The point is the reason Fearless Tour started, which I wasn't here at the beginning. He was, but I think he would agree with this. The reason it started is because Charlie Kirk was assassinated speaking on campus, and a lot of people were celebrating it, and also a lot of people were scared. The day after, on September 11th last month, I went to UT Austin, and I went with some friends. We held signs up supporting Charlie, supporting free speech, saying free speech should not incite violence, or you shouldn't use violence against people using free speech, I should say. And we were supporting Charlie Kirk, we were supporting free speech. People came up to us, they said nasty stuff, but also people came up to us crying and saying, I'm a conservative on campus, now I'm scared to do anything. All right, this is very consistent. We were talking to people yesterday at UNT. They're saying we're scared to express our political beliefs. This isn't just to come out here and talk about gender. Like, that's just a topic. We sit here and we're like, all right, what would be the best topic to cover, where we would actually find people who disagree with us. The thing is, we're having a nice conversation. We had a great conversation with Steven just now. I'm sure Steven disagrees with us a lot. He was very, very nice. I thought he was fairly reasonable. We talked to some other people, super nice, a guy named Adam, several other people. They're very nice people, and we're just showing people we should be able to talk to each other about this. And free speech is important. We should be able to come out here and set up our table, talk to you guys. Leftists should be able to do the same. That's really the point here. I get what you're saying. There are more important issues than what's on there. I agree with you. But like, we don't always have to be talking about these issues. And I would say the number one most important issue right now is freedom of speech. And kind of tied into that is being against political violence, like us being able to peacefully talk to each other and not resorting to violence, not resorting to nastiness, because we cannot have a civil society, and we can't even discuss these issues if we don't have that.
Yeah, and I think that's a really big part of the point that I had in coming up here, is to say, yeah, I did come up to talk about the priorities of what's being discussed, and so I'll leave it here. But yeah, I agree. Freedom of speech is super important. The University of Tulsa had the Freedom of Speech Week a couple weeks ago. I went to a keynote seminar on speech as a middle ground. That was great. And that's all I want to say is, yeah, I get what you're here for. I get what you're trying to do. I think that I disagree about what exactly it means for us to pursue greatness, but I put that out there, and that's it. That's all I have to say.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks.